I got something for you, Ken. You ready?
Red eye.
Here we go. This is a protester lady.
Right.
She's a little elderly. It's one everybody remembers, so it takes a while to get through some of this stuff. She's very exciting.
Hey, fellow warriors, it's imperative that this message be heard by as many people as possible. There's a march this Saturday, March 15th, at all 50 Capitol buildings around our beautiful country. We need you all to come out and protest peacefully. Please share this. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got to share this because otherwise I don't know what's going to happen to us.
I was getting ready to say, is that AI Katharine Hepburn?
Oh, God. I felt bad for the lady. I feel like she was close to dying right there.
See, that's the thing. I feel sorry for some of these people.
Yeah.
They've
lost the plot. They're so caught up in the fear of whatever they think. You know, like earlier we were joking. Well, we weren't joking because you guys realized that Trump was right. We could, Jeff's taking a girl out on a date tonight. He doesn't even realize he could just go capture her. And she's got to listen to him.
Yeah.
But no, these people really think that.
Yes. They do, man.
And it's sad. Like this lady, she's probably only 20, but she's worried herself into a 90-year-old speaking pattern. Everybody get out there and see us because we may not make it to the next election. I'm like, that's the least of your worries, ma'am.
It's like I'm watching On Golden Pond.
Wow, On Golden Pond. That was a movie, right?
I freaking loved that movie.
We just keep throwing stuff over at Jeff's head. Just KGB. On Golden Pond. They even make talkies when you guys were kids? Yeah, they did. You know what else we did? We drank out of the hose. So suck it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right, man. I mean, some of these, they're just, and a lot of it too. It's because they won't research for themselves.
No,
they're going completely off what they're seeing, and they're seeing hysterical, emotional posts on social media, and even the legacy media.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean, every day. You would think that these tariffs are going to mean we're going to die. Now, yeah, I mean, we could
feel some of it.
We're going to feel some of it, but that's the thing. As long as, and like you've said, as long as the administration tells us we're going to, then we know to get prepared.
I'm sitting there and listen, these people don't even know what they're protesting anymore. They're just showing up because they don't know what else to do.
Right.
And they're so terrified. And I mean, it's wrong. But then you've got people like this. This is Maxine Waters. And if you guys haven't heard Maxine Waters,
yeah.
have you heard this today?
Listeners.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't heard Maxine Waters talk about this, get ready for some hilarity.
Now, all of that worries me, but I'm going to tell you what I'm worried about.
Tell me.
I'm worried that Trump is on the edge of creating a civil war.
Really?
He alluded to it more than once. He alluded to the fact that if he did not get reelected, that there could be a civil war.
Really? Is that it? Really? You think that's it? How about comedian Ron Wood? What do you think if there's going to be a civil war?
I'll tell you this much. If there is a civil war in this country, it's going to be a short one because we out of shape.
I said that.
He's not wrong.
Let me tell you something. If you want to have a civil war in this country, it better be on an app. Because we're not doing it. First of all, the people on the left, who are you fighting? Because none of you have guns. Secondly, we're lazy. Have you met us? I mean, my God, think about the original Civil War, the Civil War. They marched for days before they fought anybody. I walk to work and people give me a weird stare. You think we're really going to go out and battle it? I even saw Tucker. He's like, I do believe a civil war is coming. I'm like, geez, no civil war is coming. We're so... the hyperbole that's out there and the wackiness. It's like, Trump wants to have a civil war and go protest because everybody's freaking out. And that guy's right. We're lazy. It better be a 5-minute war. It's got to be on an app.
And let's face it, a civil war, just give me Texas and Alabama and we'll wipe out the rest of the liberals in no time flat.
Oh, who's fighting who? What are we fighting? Who's fighting who?
I mean, if we're doing red states versus blue states, I don't think it's a contest.
And you know that movie Civil War that came out a couple months ago? It's actually a movie that came out in 24, Jeff, so you might remember it. I
don't know. That's a long time ago.
So that movie that came out, it's funny. There was no politics in the movie the way you would think, because you would think it's a civil war, like the right rose up and fought. It was actually Texas and California in the movie joined together to try to separate. So, which you would think, what? But it just
impossible.
Just great. Well, you never know, man. The enemy of my enemy. It's just, these people are crazy. I got one more, though. Every day I write down crazy people for Ken. Here's one, Ken. This is how the left feels about what they hope happens so they can get power.
Americans voted for Trump. You're finally getting the recession that you voted for. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you to all get exactly what you voted for. If you didn't vote for Trump, I'm so sorry if this is happening genuinely. But if you voted for Trump, you must be thrilled today. You must be thrilled. Egg prices are not down yet. Grocery bills aren't down yet. You are losing your Social Security. You're losing any kind of support you have from the government. But the recession's coming.
We're not losing any of that. None of that's going away.
Wow.
Oh, you guys excited about the recession? There's no recession. And you know what? If there is a recession, if there's a downturn in the market, you know what? This sounds horrible. We need it. Every once in a while, you need the market to reset itself. We have companies that are a perfect example, and a little nerdy in the weeds here, but Costco trading at 65 times earnings. That's not sustainable. That's not real. You've got companies that have never turned a profit or very rarely turned any kind of profit, trading at 30, 40, 50 times. And you need it to sell off a little bit. We have, and this is crazy, this is a little bit nerdy here. We have 15% of the world's population, if that. 5% of the world's population. Maybe, give or take. What are we at? 7 billion now? I don't know if we have that. We have 70% of the world's investment money in our stock market.
8.2 billion.
Yeah, so we're at 8.2. Geez, India, slow down. Because it's not China and it's not us. I know that.
Projections say 9 billion by 2037 and 10 billion by 2060.
Yeah, that's crazy. But we have 70% almost of the market money worldwide. And so many other markets have been depressed. So people are looking around and saying, all right, there's some stuff going on over there in the U.S. We got to be smart with our money. Stability right now, stuff's overbought. It's a resetting of the market. It happens, every 15 months or so on a normal time. Obviously, with what happened with COVID was something different.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's normal.
It is very normal. Now having it go from 40,000 down to 20,000, sure, that's a different world. But it dropping 5 to 10%, resetting itself, that's not crazy. Like that, and then what happens? It's like anything. If you're in the stock market on a daily basis, first of all, you like volatility because that's where you find stuff. But if you're like here, Jeff gets in something. So KGB gets into the stock market. You're in it for the long haul. You don't care what happens today or tomorrow. You care about where it ends. It's for some people it is a sprint, but for others, you're not even looking at it on a daily basis. So this is normal, but you have to. Obviously, you have to gauge how bad it is because you don't want it to implode. But having a pullback is not the worst thing ever. And the Main Street and Wall Street aren't the same. And most people are like, well, the stock market's doing great, but you're not in it in the individual way where you're getting tons of dividends and this, that, and the other, and you're living off that. And then it doesn't matter. It's about the long term when it comes to that. And the recession thing, that's also normal. How many recessions? So Ken, you and I are about the same age. How many recessions have you been through?
I just recall the one back in 2008. 2009.
That's the recession that we all felt. And obviously, when we were younger, we were
The 70s.
Yeah,
Late 70s.
Yeah, with Carter and all the stuff. That was gnarly, and inflation was high. But we've been through many recessions, and most of them are, even during 2008, even though unemployment at times in certain areas was 12 to 15%, the reality, that means 85% of people were working. So it wasn't like there was half the people on my street aren't working, right? They're all eating a potato a day. It was a tough time, and the housing market took a kick in the grundle, but it wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't the Great Depression. Like you, when I think of the Great Depression, man, I watch movies from back then or newscasts. I'm like, whoa,
yeah,
we'd have 1,200 people on the street, every single day, kids and your neighbors out there
lining up for a cup of soup.
Yeah, a cup of soup. We're going to share it between the 8 of us.
Yeah,
so we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine, and we are so much more. And I want people to understand, get a sense of how strong our economy has been. Mississippi, their economy, the average income and worth of a person in Mississippi is bigger and better than that of, say, the UK, England. Think about that. That's like when we talk about a trade war. Do you realize if California, Texas, or Florida decide to have a trade war with Canada, they would crush them? They could crush their souls. That's how big we are. For all the joking about California, they alone are the 5th largest economy on the planet. I think Texas is 8, and I think Florida is like 11 or 12. That's how strong we are. So settle down, Aussie chick.
Well, and the thing, too, is all you're seeing from our media here, and I understand why the media is doing this, because the media is trying to tell you how it's going to affect you. Where the NBC, ABC, CBS, and others, they're not trying to tell Canadians or people in Mexico or the European Union how it's going to affect them. They're right to focus on how it's going to affect us. But one thing you've got to understand, and like you point out on a daily basis, is it's going to hit them a lot harder than it's going to hit us.
Yeah.
And they cannot sustain as long as we can.
No, they can't.
And that's why they keep coming back.
Absolutely. And it's certain things can withstand stuff better. I remember I lived in California during the 2000 when the market crashed, and like my friends in Arizona, their houses that the couple of them, they just walked away from their houses because they had overpaid for their houses.
Yeah.
They paid like $400,000 or $300,000 for the houses. The houses a year later were going for like $60,000.
Yeah, they wound up underwater.
Yeah, like you couldn't believe. Well, in California, that house was worth $1.1 million. It's gone down to $900,000, and within 6 months, it was over $1.3 million.
Yeah,
because certain places are able to withstand certain things, and we're that kind of nation across the board. Coming up, a lot of stuff to get to. I'm going to play a little fun thing. I do it on my national show. I'm going to do it here, and it is fun. We're going to take a listen back, if you will, to all of the chaos, have a little fun with some music, right? A little George Jones. So sit back, relax, and get ready for that. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.